Ashley Darby, you are doing themost.com. I'm not mad at it, but you are breaking hearts in the process. Let's talk about it.
Welcome to the Asia Esterak Hour, where film meets conspiracy and pop culture gets a reality check. From sharp recaps to sci-fi theories and media deep dives, Asia Esterak serves it unfiltered. Let the binge begin.
All right, this is the Asia Esterak Hour. I am Asia Esterak. Okay, so Love Hotel Season 1, Episode 4. They call this episode Wreck-It Ralph. You ain't lying. He was wrecking all kinds of things inadvertently. They should have called it Wreck-It Ashley, because that's really who was wrecking shit up. So it's the next day after Ashley expressed interest in Ralph. So, of course, that seems to be the whispers. The guys are talking about it. We also have the hot mess that is Earl and Shannon. They talk briefly in her, I don't know if it's her room. It is her room. He comes in, he apologizes for how he behaved. He said that he was triggered, yada, 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 but he wants to, make it work with her. You could tell by Shannon's body language she's done. But here's my thing, Earl. Why would you want to be with somebody who triggers you in that way? Especially when you compared that same person to your first ex-wife who you left because of those situations. Very strange. Earl, you showed your ass. She's clearly done with you. And to be honest, there's a lot under the surface there that I'm not feeling. So Ashley is talking to Jason, who I really like. I think Jason is super handsome, a little more reserved than Wale, but I like him. Ashley is basically rejecting him to his face, telling him that so apparently Jason revealed to her that he used to be in a throuple for 8 months. They flash back to it, and he says that him and his girlfriend and that girl came to him. So Ashley's using that as a reason not to date him, saying that it reminds her of her former relationship, obviously with Michael Darby, and her whole thing is she's afraid that Jason will slip back into that. So that's not her reason for wanting to date him. Ashley, that don't make no sense. How does that make sense? According to your logic, if Jason was in a throuple and the fear is that he'll go back to that, you were in the same situation. So wouldn't that be shouldn't you apply that same logic to you? It doesn't make sense. Just say you're not interested. I don't know. I thought that was a strange reason not to date him. You could just say, I'm just not that into you. I think you're cool, but anyway, Joel comes out and they have another excursion. They have to pick somebody to go on the one-on-one date with. Shannon picks Adam, which you could tell Earl was feeling some type of way. But she even says the only person I've been on a date, one-on-one dates with is Earl, so I would like to try something new. So she picks Adam. Good choice. Giselle picks Phil. I actually think they have a very cute dynamic. Luann picks James, who I keep wanting to call Jerry. I don't know why. And who am I? Ashley picks Wale. So they go on this, Shannon and Adam go on a camel ride, and it was hilarious because Shannon's asking for pointers riding the camel, and she's talking to Luann. Of course, they flash back to 14 years ago. That Roni trip to Morocco will live rent-free in my head, and I would never ride a camel. I wasn't going to ride one, no way, but really, really after that. Luann and James... God, why do I keep wanting to call that man Jerry? They go on like a one of those terrifying canopy rides across a canyon or whatever, a valley. Ashley and Wale do a swing thing that's very similar to bungee jumping. That's a hard no for me. And Giselle and Phil ride dirt doom buggies across this terrifying bridge, which at one point she was screaming. I would have went on it. I would not have done any of those excursions. Let's do something else. Can I climb a tree? It was cute because each lady got to know their guy better. Luann got closer with James. They have a lot in common. But again, Luann, don't move too fast with that man. You don't know him. And this is a reality show. They're going to throw you a curveball. Um, Shannon and Adam connect very well. He clearly seems to be more Shannon, seems to fit more what Shannon wants. I think he's a little bit younger than her, which she mentions, but that's okay. Um, Giselle and Phil are connecting tremendously. She's learning more about how much money he has. What I like about Phil is he doesn't broadcast his wealth. You know, what do they say? Money speaks, wealth whispers. He drops little nuggets letting you know he got a little bit of money, but he's not volunteering the information. Someone's asking him and he's telling. So I like that. He also has a kid, he mentioned, a 20-year-old son, and hasn't dated until his son kind of got on with his life. So him and Giselle have a lot in common. A lot in common. I could see that being a thing later. Yeah, Ashley and Wale, of course they hit it off. You know, they're even kissing at one point, which I'm like, Ashley, you are playing with fire, girl. Fire. Or maybe you're the fire and Wale is playing with fire, messing with your ass. So anyway, everybody has a great date. They come back to the villa. Everyone is recapping what happened. Earl is walking around looking like Eeyore. Just a mess. You could tell he's trying to save face, but he knows that connection is he has to know that connection is a little like, I think he knows my cat is going to be annoying. Harriet, don't do it. So Ashley is actually, Ralph approaches Ashley and wants to talk about what she said to him about being interested in him. Come on, Harriet, move. And they're at this bar. Adam is in there, and Ashley excuses Adam, like, can I talk to him privately? Yeah, okay. So they're talking. He's basically, Ralph is shocked that Ashley even had an interest in him. He wasn't ready for that. He wasn't prepared for that. And you could tell it's messed up his world a little bit, because he clearly had a little bit of attraction to her, clearly. They say goodnight. Ashley leaves. This fool is out there contemplating, like, should I? Shouldn't I? Should I? So what does she do? Come on, Harriet. What does she do? She goes back. Adam's talking. She kind of excuses. Actually, no, this is the time that she excuses Adam out the way. Adam goes on the other side talking to the bartender. Her and Ralph are chatting, and these fools start kissing. Making out. Making out, boo. So the next morning, of course, that's what everyone's talking about. Come on, kitty. My cat is going to drive me crazy. Hold on. Okay, so the next morning, everyone's chatting about it. Ashley and Giselle are in their confessional, and Ashley tells Giselle, like, I kissed Ralph last night. Oh, my God. And Ashley loved the kiss. Ashley is attracted to Ralph. She's going back with the old familiar. She's going back to what she's used to. Giselle didn't get mad at it. She thought it was kind of funny, but she did say, we're all going to have to figure this out because we all have an interest in Ralph. Literally, all the ladies at some point have picked him, and he picked Giselle, but it seems like he's going to pick Ashley now because he like Ashley. I mean, Ashley's hot, but she's all over the place. I think her establishing that connection with, stop, kitty, with Wale, and then jumping ship over to Ralph is not the best look, but it's a dating show, so this is what we're here for, right? This is why we're here. So Shannon talks later on. The ladies kind of all sit together and they're talking about the men again. Of course, Ashley talks about the connection with Ralph. Shannon definitely has an interest in Adam. Giselle likes Phil, and Luann is all for James, aka Jerry. I'm gonna just start calling him James, aka Jerry. So back downstairs, they're all mingling again. I thought it was hilarious. So Jay is having a conversation with Giselle, and he's like, all of us guys are saying that you're the hardest nut to crack. Well, she says that, and he's like, yeah. I think Giselle is playing it right. I don't know if it's smart to be kissing on a bunch of strangers. You know what I mean? Because it's easy to disassociate and flirt and kiss with people, but it's obvious that there are people on the show that are having real feelings. Earl, Wale. I don't know. So they all are sitting around after the evening, it's the evening, they're having a nightcap, and it's not the evening quite yet. It's like dusk. And I felt bad for Earl. Earl goes over to Shannon asking her if she wants to go for a stroll or walk. She's like, actually, I'm going with Adam. Is that okay? And he's like, yeah, that's fine. You guys have a great time. So he walks away, tail between his legs. He's obviously upset. He ends up going to bed. Or he says he's going to bed or goes up to his room, whatever. Shannon and Adam end up going for a walk. And Adam actually says to Shannon, like, he eventually, he's got to get the hint. He'll eventually get the hint that you're not interested. Yeah. Ashley and Ralph are continuing to chat and hang out again. They are kissing again, child. So Jason and Wale are sitting down later, and Jason seems a little defeated because he's like, Wale, which to me was a little bit of shade that he throws at Ashley, but he tells Jason, like, in Ashley's world, don't count yourself out just yet. You never know. A little dig at her. Later on, they talk, Ashley and Wale, later on in that evening, and he's basically like, I'm a part of Ashley's world. Ashley will lick your face for 5 hours, and Ashley's like, she probably did. Here's the reality. You done made out with that man to high heavens, giving him all this hope when you over here like an old boy more. That's the danger of these dating shows. It's so reminiscent of Flavor of Love, I Love New York. I don't watch Bachelorette and all that, but I'm sure it's similar. Anyway, so the episode ends with Shannon and Earl having a conversation in her room. And she says in her confessional, I'm giving him this as a parting gift. She pulls out this envelope. He opens it. It's folded 3 ways. He unfolds it. And his reaction is very emotional. Talking about, I wasn't expecting this. I know it's a rejection letter. I just want to know what it says. And the whole thing that she said, it's a parting gift, was very interesting. We are 4 episodes in. This show is giving. My predictions is based off of the previews for next week. There's more guys coming in. I feel like we're going to see more of the crazy come out from that James, aka Jerry dude, because he just seems weird to me. I'm curious to see what's going to happen with Earl. Earl don't take rejection well. I feel like Earl doesn't take a lot of things well. But anyway, another great episode. I'm very interested to see what's going to happen next week with this Wale, Ralph, and Ashley debacle. Ashley, you done stepped in it, girl. Ashley, you are Geminiing all over the place, child.